As routine as crucifixion was, they were not used to somebody ending with a loud cry. And what we have here is the fact that Jesus is not going out with a whimper, but he's going out in full possession of his faculties. And in the same way that we engage in routine things that are part and parcel of our everyday lives, and we are able to go through most of them without really paying a tremendous amount of attention because they're so routine to us, so these soldiers would be going about their business. And in the back of their minds, they would be saying, okay, things will be closing down now. Death will be beginning to take hold. Or in this case, it'll be some time perhaps before this individual dies. And then in the midst of it all, this loud cry. How unsettling it must have been for the centurion. Well, what was that? That doesn't happen. When he went home for his tea in the evening, how was your day? Well, staggering today. Of course, we had the blackout. Yes, says his wife, I was out with our girl, and she was inquiring, and I had no answer. Well, he said, I'm not sure I have an answer either, but I know I was at the very heart of it, and I think it has something to do with the man who was on the cross. Interestingly, his life was not ebbing away the way that it normally happens. Indeed, it appeared as though he just came to a point where he decided that it was time for him to leave. He came to a point where he decided that his work had been accomplished, that he was done, and he said, I'm out of here. And that is, in a kind of contemporary paraphrase, exactly what Jesus is saying. Father, into your hands I commend my spirit. After all of the darkness and all of the dereliction, all of the pain, all of the suffering, all of the forsakenness, here we find him in closest communion with his Father once again, entrusting himself into his care. Can you remember back to your childhood when you fell asleep on a trip from your grandmother's house to your own home, let's say, and you spent the final few miles of the journey in a state of semi-consciousness, coming to, recognizing traffic lights without opening your eyes, knowing because you know the road so well, and then finally that moment where you feel yourself being picked up out of the back seat, and you open your eyes just long enough to look up and see, it's my dad. He's got me. I'm okay. And you entrusted yourself completely into the care of your Father, and he took you to where you needed to be, and when you wakened up, you were home. That's what's happening here for Jesus. Okay, Father, it's over to you. Let me just entrust myself to you. Incidentally, that is death for the Christian. What you fear most, you won't experience. You'll fall asleep in the arms of Jesus, and you'll waken up, and you're in your own room.